All right, Shalom. This is Har One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nagwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. All right, let's dive right in. Today they celebrating their they call it Turkey Day or Thanksgiving Day. Um, today was the day they slaughtered the Native American Indians and began to force them into reservations. You had today is a day of betrayal between Esau and the Native Americans, right? And also today is a day of paganism. All right, it's just a normal day, but it's a day that they serve and gather in the spirit of paganism, man. And a lot of prayers at the tables are made to idols, like Jesus, which is an idol. All right, the false name of the Lord. You have a lot of people that gather that hate each other. There's a lot of demons getting passed around at these gatherings. That's why the Lord called it the congregation of the dead. So I just had a scripture just pop into my mind too. It'll come back to me. Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead, man. All right, so there is people that congregate, but they're congregating being lost. All right, the Lord said without him we were lost and without hope, without hope in the world. So this is a gathering of the hopeless, and when they saying their prayers, they're praying to idols together. They're praying to an Edomite, and there'll be a lot of Jakes at your table. All right, matter of fact, I'm gonna get this real quick. This is the prophecy, Genesis 49:19. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him. All right, the Northern Army, the American army that overcame. That was a major prophecy. All right, the Gadites being overpowered and taken over in this place called Arsareth, Babylon, 2nd Ezra 13. And it speaks about the northern tribes being over here in these lands that they call the Americas. They still have the South America as well. And Gad was taken over by the Northern Army, which is Esau's army. But it says what? But he shall overcome at the last. So we're going to overcome how? Through Yahushua. All right. You have Martin Luther King saying we shall overcome someday, but they didn't know how. We're going to overcome through Yahushua, because Revelation 7, it speaks about the Native American tribes, the Gadites, which means Gad means I think troop. Excuse me. But the Gadites, they're included in that number of victors, the ones that get crowned and get the victory over Satan and his kingdom and over his mark. And the Lord said He's going to send for many hunters, and those hunters are written in Revelation 7, the 12,000 from each tribe, and one of those tribes is the Gadites, Native Americans. So they will overcome Esau in the last days, all right, in the end. All right. And remember, Esau is the beginning of the world, and Jacob, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. And Gad is included in that number with Jacob. All right. But again, Proverbs 21:16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So you're going to remain in that church mindset, that Baptist, Pentecostal, Catholic, American, atheists, whatever they into mindset, where they just go, I'm just getting up with the family, man. I'm just getting up with the family. It's all about the family, man. This is a time when the family get together. So what? So what? This is a time when the family get together. Gathering for what? When they all wind up hating each other, um, gossiping. When I grew up, when I was young, going to these Thanksgivings with my aunts and uncles, and there was so much gossiping and bickering and backstabbing going on, and over drunkenness, right? High blood pressure, diabetes. You can see people eyes with bloodshot red, and just feasting and fat and farting, all together, just bloated. And I just didn't like it. I ain't like the energy. It just seemed chaotic. And I was always wondering, I always smelled cheap perfume and cologne, you know? Um, but yeah, anyway, I just had bad memories of that shit. But that's a congregation of the dead. It's these church gatherings, these family gatherings, that mindset of politicians in America, Democratic, Republican, um, the LGBTQ, all those movements. That's all the congregation of the dead. These Egyptians, Muslim, you know. So, and especially you silly jakes that were teaching with us, and then you back in the world, and now your silly ass uh, gathering with them on Thanksgiving. You can gather with them, but if you out there teaching and you need a meal, and you're going to get a meal, that's different. But if you gather and you saying the prayers, you saying their mantras, uh, you eating their pork. You know what I mean? See, being around family and seeing family is nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So, but it's better to just be around your own in-house family that day or around the Akim, all right, or teach to rebuke it. Matter of fact, look at that. This is Ephesians 5. Um, let's go to 9. For the fruit of the Spirit, see, not of the congregation of the dead, but the fruit of the Spirit of truth. You guys judge every tree by its fruit. But the fruit that we bear is the fruit of the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not the spirit of this world. Is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, man. So we want to find the truth in everything. What's the truth about Thanksgiving? Is that it was a day of slaughter against our brothers, against innocent people. Not innocent against God, but innocent against man. All right. So it was a slaughter. And the Lord said, shame is going to cover Esau for what they did to Jacob, for their violence against their brother Jacob. But instead, this world, they celebrate the violence that Esau did against Jacob. They celebrate it. It says, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. See, the truth is acceptable to the Lord. This is falsehood. All right. The Lord said he has no pleasure in lies. And he's not the father of lies, meaning he set up Esau to create those lies. Thanksgiving. You got to have a turkey. Which is all going back to paganism. All right. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. See, it's unfruitful. How many Thanksgivings you seen our people have? They gathering. What has come out of these gatherings? $1 billion families, righteousness. What has come out of these Thanksgivings? Besides hereditary, as they say, bad eating habits. and more lie and perpetuating the lies that they told our people of Jesus, Cesare Borgia, an Edomite. That they perpetuating it, keep continuing it, the lies. They have followed cunningly devised fables of Thanksgiving, Halloween, these idolatrous um, gatherings. All right. So they followed those fables and now they perpetuate it, keep it going every time they gather. Hey, remember the good Lord's, and they have a fake, the wrong image of the Lord on the wall, or they say the wrong name, or they say he's all love and not hate. No, Judgment Day is coming. That's hate. He gonna show what you hate. He gonna show what he hates. All right. They have all that pork, and the Lord son don't eat pork, bacon, hog maws, chitlins. Overeating, gluttonous. Everybody getting like 4 or 5 plates, and it's all for filthy lucre for these corporations. Every holiday is a month. Every month is a holiday where these grocery stores or convenience stores or uh what would it be called? These basic appliance stores, where their ratings, they call it holiday sales. Their ratings go up, and they get even more rich. So that's what it's about. The promotions. Ding 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 ding. Welcome to this weird kind of Christmas sale. The next thing you know, it's like, it's Christmas time now. Why? Because they said so. It's like they're getting controlled by the wizard, man. So the Lord gave us holy days, and He commemorated those holy days with action, like the Passover. He passed over our houses and delivered us out of Egypt. So we remember that. What the hell is Thanksgiving about? They slaughtered the Native Americans, so we celebrate that. It don't make sense. And have no fellowship. All right, don't fellowship with them, with the unfruitful work of darkness, but rather reprove them, man. Like, they're gonna invite me to the table. As soon as you say that Jesus name, I'm gonna do that Grinch smile. You done fucked up, right? You done fucked up. As soon as they say that Jesus name, they're like, oh, why did we invite this black sheep of the family here? Why we invite him here? Yes, thorn in their side. So it ain't gonna mix. So you might as well not even go. Unless you're gonna go and stop through, say what's up, and be out. All right. But as for me, those days are long gone. I'm all about the solemn assembly now, the righteous way. Always have been now, for a long time. Ephesians 5:11, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, man. Doing up the work in darkness. When they gather, what are they talking about? What are they passing on? More of that church shit that they get from they wicked ass pastor at their church. And grandmama and auntie. But rather reprove them, man. So we're supposed to be on the side where we are protesting and rebuking these folly days, man, and the slaughter of our brethren, the Gadites. It says, for verse 8, for we, matter of fact, start here. Verse 6, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. And that's who's gathering, the children of disobedience, when they gather for Christmas, when they gather for Halloween, they're gathering in darkness, disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them. All right. So I'd rather stay away from them, man. Give me a plate. I might pull up, grab a plate, which I ain't doing. I'm saying if I was out there and I was hungry, I would just pull up, grab a plate, and be out. That's it. Show my love to everybody. I'm out. You still love Jake. Our people, the Lord said, boast not against the branches. So you're gonna show love to your people either way, because um, we love our people, just not in the condition and wickedness that they do. So we avoid them. So be ye not partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. See, a lot of us was raised up in these Baptists. Most of Jake was Baptist. However it is, going to be in these churches, and they were pushing those folly days on us, man, and idolatry. But now we are the children of light. Walk ye in the light and with the children of light. All right. So let me keep going. This is Amos 5:21. I hate. So the Lord said he hates it, man. He said, I hate. Damn, man, somebody hating something. He said it's like a smoke in his nostrils. Imagine that. You blow smoke, somebody blow some smoke in your face right now. Or a goddamn fire or a damn cigarette, somebody blow that shit in your fucking face and your nose. That shit stink. It make you want to slap them. It says, I despise your feast days. It's toxic. And I will not smell in your solemn assembly. They're burning pork, burning oh shit, seafood, the crabs, the lobster, the shrimp. They're gonna do that. Growing up, all I saw was newspaper and crab boils. And they like, you gotta eat the dead man. I'm like, the dead man? What the hell is that? I'm gonna eat that shit. I would wait till everybody turned their head and I would throw it out. I ain't never know what the hell it was, the dead man on the damn crabs. All right. I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assembly. So in their gatherings, the Lord is not dealing with it. He's not dealing with their sacrifice, because that's what it is when you're cooking. It's like a sacrifice. The Lord ain't worrying about our sacrifice either, but according to the old way, we would sacrifice on the lamb, things like that. But he said he's not dealing with their prayers, their sacrifice. All right. So now he's accepting spiritual sacrifice. So what spiritual sacrifice are they putting up? The spirit of falsehood, the spirit of darkness, the spirit of lies, the spirit of gluttonous, idolatry. And the Lord is not dealing with that. Even our prayers become an abomination once we follow the ways of these heathens. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts, right? Because the only offering we can do now, so you can't say, yeah, we just get together and offer food. No, the offering that the Lord is accepting is through Yahweh Shai. He's the ultimate offering, the sacrifice. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, man. Now they're singing and shit. They're gonna be singing, gathering together, everybody all getting bloated, wobbling up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Once you're in this truth and you start changing your diet, all that food don't seem desirous anymore. Just eating a Eastern diet instead of a Western diet. He says, says, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. So the Lord won't hear them singing. He don't even want to hear them on the instruments, keyboard. You playing a damn Christmas carol and shit. They get on the fucking piano and start playing some deck the halls and shit. So singing or instruments, whatever you playing, the Lord he ain't tapping to that tune. He shut down the club. Shut it down. All right, the Lord ain't dealing with it. says, but instead let judgment run down his waters. That's gonna be the violins that the Lord wanna hear. That's the party and the Lord wanna do. He's like, you want a party? Okay. We have a barbecue? Got you. How about you be the chicken? You get on the grill. Matter of fact, I'll make where you're at the grill. America. It's a hot plate, boiling pot. But let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. Like just judgment straight from the Most High, like a mighty stream from the heavens. That we say he saw a stream coming from the throne of Yahweh. Right? So let judgment run down like a mighty stream, like a waterfall. Damn, that's crashing, pouring judgment out on these people instead of the Lord being happy about their gatherings. All right. Have ye offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness for 40 years, O house of Israel? Yes, well, actually, for 40 years, the Lord was leading us with Moses. All right. It says, but ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch and chew in your images. So now the Lord like, yo, y'all was just dealing with me. That was y'all, right? But now you offering unto these idols. You know? All the idols they dealing with here in America and around the world basically go back to Babylon, Molech, Marduk, et cetera, Nana. All these different idols they chose of the nations. The star of your God, and that's the star of Remphan. We call that the Sakari star now. In the ISUPK, I think they used it too. The star of your idol, which ye made to yourselves, man. They made that shit. That's a man-made symbol, that star that they call the Star of David. That they put all over the Jewish synagogues, et cetera, et cetera. This, therefore, will I cause you. Oh, so all right, so that was the point. Let me go on to this one. All right, this is Hosea 2:16. Yeah. Matter of fact, let's go to 13. All right. And I will, Hosea 2:13. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, which is their idols, wherein she burned incense to them. Talking about Israel burned incense to these idols, basically saying, paying homage to false gods, just like they're doing today. She decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers. That's following after the nations. So that's what Israel did. They went and sold themselves for naught to these nations and went after the nations, went after the idols. They get all dressed up and dolled up just to go serve idolatry and to serve these nations. But they're not getting dressed up to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He said, put on your covering of righteousness, the covering of truth, covering of humility, the covering of Israel, Yasha Allah, the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But instead, they take coverings of the world. They put on makeup to mask their imperfections, spiritually and physically. It says, what? And she went after her lovers and forget me, saith Yahweh. She became a whore, into idolatry, adultery. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness. See, didn't the Lord say that? He dealt with us into the wilderness when we came out of Egypt. And now the Lord has allured us again and called us into the wilderness, and speak comfortably unto her, and I will give her vineyards from thence. All right, because in reality, if your wife was with somebody else, you're not supposed to take her back. That's defiled land. That's like a land that's defiled, um, or destroyed. But Yahweh Shai said he never gave us. Yahweh said he never gave us a physical bill of divorce. He just said he was divorcing us. So he like, all right, so where's the bill of divorce at? Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you. Look, check this out. You know, when the Lord said he gave us a bill of divorcement, it was a statement. So nobody on the earth can come up to the Lord and say, aha, look, you divorced them. Like, what's his name? Uh Bocab and their cronies, school of seminary arts, these Christians, they'll try to say, yeah, you did away with Israel. Remember, you divorced them. Here go the bill of divorce. I got it right here. The Lord's like, no, I ain't leave no documents in the earth. He just said he was going to divorce us so that he can easily just disannul it and take us back. Check it out. Isaiah 50:1. Thus saith Yahweh, where is the bill of your mother's divorce? See, whom I have put away. Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Behold, for your iniquities have ye sold yourselves, and for your transgressions, your mother put away. All right. So it wasn't just like, yeah, he wrote a paper and left it in the earth that this was going to be forever. Nah, he said, yo, look, it was your own transgressions that had us led astray. All right. So right here, Hosea 4:14. Therefore, 2:14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her, and will give her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door. All right. I'm gonna go to 16. And it shall be at that day, saith Yahweh, that thou shalt call me Ishi. All right, meaning husbandman. So we're gonna know who our husband is. You know, our king, Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh. All right. We're gonna know in these days instead of um doing like the nations. They would fear the Most High, and some of them, if they tried to serve the Lord, but they would still be into idol worship, like Herod. So 2/3 of our people that have become heathen minded. Romans 10 speaks about them. They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So they're trying to serve the God of the Bible, but they're doing it with lack of knowledge. So they're praising idols at these Thanksgiving gatherings, Christmas, when the Lord was born in springtime, not in winter. All right, this is all a corporation advancement. These holidays advance these corporations, make them richer. Called the business cycle. All right, and shall call me no more by Ali, meaning by Alium, or idols. You don't call Yahweh Shai anymore idolatrous names. His name is Jesus. We ain't gonna know what his name is. We're gonna call. Look, he said in these days we're gonna know. The elect shall praise his holy name. His separated name, sacred. And he said the elect shall praise it in this earth. That's part of the song. The song of Moses that changed to the song of Yahweh Shai. So you gotta know his name. For I will take away the names of Baalium, or these idols, out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. All right. So if you gathering and y'all eating, you should be praising Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And it should be on his holy days or on your regular night when you're eating with your family. not gathering for Halloween trying to praise the Most High. Like this weirdo was doing that called himself King David, uh, Chub Rock. All right, so Jeremiah 6:16, thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, man. So stand ye in the ways, look for all the ways you can go, and ask for the right path, the old paths. You see that? That lead back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, King David, Solomon, our forefathers, Yahushua, the path that they have laid out for us through the disciples. Where is the good way? Right? Not just any kind of way, not the way of darkness, but the good way. And walk therein. And ye shall find rest for your souls. All right? And that's what we need, rest for our souls. What do you say, rest in peace? We want to rest. We want rest for our souls here and when we leave this earth. But they said we will not walk therein. And that's what they're doing. And that's what the Lord said. He set us up as watchmen to give warning to the people that they shall perish in their wicked ways if they don't repent. But the blood will be off of our hands. When Esau's blood will be on their hands, on Jake's hands too, when he's celebrating this the slaughter that Esau has committed, celebrating their iniquity. All right, he says, seek ye the old paths, stand in the ways and seek the old way, the old paths. All right, the good way, and walk therein. But Proverbs 16 and 25, there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, as just being a mortal man without hope and blind, without Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the world, without the light of righteousness have not shined unto them, and they've gone through all these paths in vain. The scriptures say that in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. There is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death, man. All that folly and joy to the world and Christmas caroling, that seemed right to a man because it seems happy, but it's nothing but darkness. All right, that's called being drunken in the night. It's the ways of death. Romans 10:2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. It's still part of a lot of our people to be compassionate towards the Creator, but they just don't know His name. That's why the Lord said, don't boast against the branches. We rebuke them, we reprove them, but we ain't like, yeah, the Lord chose me over you. Instead, we feared the Lord, and we say, thank you for waking us up, because we see what it's like by witnessing them in their sleep, in their darkness. It's like watching people sleepwalking, and the Lord like, look, that could be you. You want to go wake them up, or would you sit there and mock them? Nah, you want to wake them up, and the ones that resist and push you away, you'll rebuke them and tell them, like, hey, you need to listen. And ultimately, if they don't listen, the blind going to lead the blind into the ditch. The blind man going to say, hey, other blind people, don't listen to the ones that can see. Follow me. Let's keep going like this. It's safer this way, Now you can hear, fall into a damn ditch. All right. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge. For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, especially here in this place, America, especially being slaves, eating slop and chitlins and everything off the master's table, that became Thanksgiving dinner. High blood pressure, diabetes, All right. So they went about to establish their own righteousness in this place. All right. For they being ignorant, that's what they call the black community. You know, that's their own. That's man's doing right there. For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh. So they got to submit themselves under the prophets, the men of the Lord, that's teaching this truth out in the streets. All right. Matter of fact, let's go here. Isaiah 66 and 17. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and Yahweh gonna send Yahweh Shai with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. Remember, they got this 3-eye atlas out there, R2 Swan, CB1 V1 Borisov, all these different objects out in the heavens right now, like a fleet of chariots. Man, listen. To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So that's how they're going to get the answer. To what end is woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. The Lord is going to show up, I'm telling you. And we keep doing these Thanksgivings, we keep gathering, and we keep praying and singing these hymns. You know, yeah, I think not that he came to send peace on earth, he come to send fire and sword. It says, for by fire, there you go, and by his sword, kind will Yahweh plead with all flesh. Plead means to judge. And the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction, and narrow is the way that leadeth unto salvation, and few there be that find it to life. They that sanctify themselves, see that? And purify themselves in gardens, meaning praying, anointing each other and all this, getting baptized, dunked in dirty soap, sink water. That they purify themselves and praising each other, you know, in gardens behind one tree in the midst. In the ancient times, our people would gather on the myrtle trees to say prayers. That would give you some type of shade or privacy. So in these times, people gather around trees and gardens, or they barbecuing outside. Jake love a barbecue. They get that spirit from it was always in our spirit to have a campfire or fire. But they get that barbecue American spirit from Esau. And purify themselves. There's nothing wrong with barbecuing, but I'm saying for these holidays. And purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. And this is in the ancient times. So today there's a different list of abominable foods: crabs, lobster, shrimp. You know? In the ancient times, they probably be like, what? Y'all eating that? Clams. And back then they was eating rats. Look, it says eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh. See that? So it got all these abominable foods. Jake is just gathering and eating and barbecuing and sanctifying themselves and partying and bullshitting. That's why the Lord said this again. All right. Because I remember going to these. I mean, I appreciate the gathering of the families to where you get to know your cousins and aunts, but later on you see that most of them are just wicked, man. A lot of your cousins be out in the streets doing dumb shit, or they be a part of the LG movement or something. You gotta realize that's your damn cousin now. You you see people talking about each other. You start to realize people got gout and disease, all this weird shit, and they're like, "Yeah, you gonna get this too." You're like, "No, I ain't." I ain't gonna be like y'all, motherfucker. You start to see it, man. All right. So it says what? And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Right? It says, for it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. All right. It says, wherefore he saith, awake, thou that sleepest, man. Wake up out of this damn American dream, man. This matrix. And arise from the dead. Arise, man. Rise up. Take your place with the number of the hopeful elect. And Yahweh Shai shall give you the light. The Lord gonna give you wisdom. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, man. Getting caught up in these holidays, caught up in this world. The Lord said, don't walk that way. He said, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, false doctrine, and lies, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. All right. So, and if we're gonna sing all these damn carols and songs and shit on these days, it should be the songs about the truth. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya, oh Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya Yahweh, or anything dealing with the truth, and with the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai in the song, like the Psalms of David and Solomon. Singing and making melody in your heart. Speak unto yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. See, spiritual songs. Singing, not drill music. Singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. All right. So what? I ain't know it's gonna be here. Giving thanks always. What? Or is it supposed to be one day? No, giving thanks always for all things unto Yahweh and the Father in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, submitting yourselves to one another. All right, so now I can go with that whole chapter. That was a cut. You're supposed to be thankful always, man. That's on one day. Be thankful. Second Ezra 9 and 10. All right, so they're thankful and they don't even know the one that's blessing them with life and keeping their heart beating and lungs going every day. The one they're calling on in falsehood. Second Ezra 9 and 10. Oh, let's go to 5. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, right? The beginning of us in slavery was done with miracles and the Lord stopping the waters so we can have the middle passage and things like that for us to come over here into slavery. All kind of miracles and chariots showing up. You can read about Columbus seeing chariots, and who knows countless other miracles. And the Lord making a way for us to end up over here. That was a miracle. It was bad for us, but all right, the Lord showing His power. So it has effects. It says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder. See, and wonder, just like now, and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, man, judgments. That's what the effects are, and judgments, and then signs from the heavens. So we're in that time of the judgment and the effects and the signs from heaven are happening. Basically, we're at the end. High time to awake out of sleep. And everyone that shall be saved, that's what we want, salvation and to be saved, which is not set up for any other nation but Israel, shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. All the way to the end. You have to believe. If you're not doing the work, if you're a male and you have testicles, you're supposed to be out there testifying. But if you're a woman or a child and a male, you're supposed to uphold your faith all the way until that sacred day that the Lord has set to reset, to restore and reset everything. That's called Judgment Day. And the whole existence has been waiting for that always since the beginning. Since Adam, when the Lord is going to reset everything. All right. Now it says here, it's all about your belief in their works. And these people are pushing their works in the works of darkness. They maintain the state of this world with their folly days. All right. So with that, I'm gonna end this one, man. It says, what? The ones that's doing the work and believing in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and staying separate, you feeling that pull from your ex-family members. See, we missed you this year at the gathering. I'm gonna help you get this, but you ain't show up. Or look at you, why you don't come around no more? The things they're gonna say, all of the haunts. But you just ignore it. You ain't gotta run from it. You can hear it. But make sure you hear the Lord's voice even louder. All right. So it says what? These people shall be preserved from the said perils, talking about the hopeful elect, and shall see my salvation in my land. And it's like every time a holiday comes up, it's like a shepherd's call. Think about it. And the Lord said, we're not going to hear any other shepherd but Yahweh Shai's voice. When he says move, we move. Go out to the streets and meet him. We're going out to the streets and meet him. His holy days. Right? But then you got another shepherd, the spiritual demon Satan, that's operating in this earth. And they'll say, you know what time it is? It's October. Gather yourselves together, you sheep. And we don't move. All right? We don't move to that vibration. It's Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Day. You want to celebrate that. Get that turkey. Get your hog maws. Everything that Shirley Caesar named in her damn song. Beans, greens, tomatoes, chicken, turkey. All right. It says what? Where was that? Verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. Man, they abusing the Lord's laws and his ways. Because they don't think he exists. They don't think he exists, or they serving him in ignorance, not correctly. Or they just disrespecting the scriptures like these Egyptologists do. Then shall they be in pitiful case, pitiful, and the Lord not going to pity them, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Especially damn Christians and Masons. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. So what are you thinking? Who are you thinking and being thankful for, and paying homage to if you don't know who you're talking to? So you're receiving all these benefits in life and they're being thankful and thanking the wrong one. They're giving thanks to Jesus and all these idols or, just false gods. It says, and they that have loathed my law, meaning those that hate the Lord's law, his way, stop eating pork, shrimp, and lobster, go into your dietary and your lifestyle now. And he said, don't worship other gods. And they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when as yet a place of repentance was open unto them, that's right now, the door is wide open, they understood it not, but despised it. The same shall know it after death by pain. It's going to be a destruction, a painful death. All right. So I'm going to end this there, man. So we don't want to be a part of that. You know, um, let's keep on footing it up the yellow brick road. Keep on easing on down and staying away from this folly, man. With that, I'm going to say shalom.